Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe, and in today's video I want to talk about all the reading stuff, reading stats, reading plans for this year. I also want to look at the last year, a little bit at the year before, 2020, and then we talk about what is going to happen in 2022, probably, and what also happened with this channel this year. So let's start with Goodreads. I'm sorry that I didn't now look down. So what happened last year? Last year I read a ton. I read in total a book of 148. I did not know how this happened. My reading goal for 2021 was 80 books. I read in 2020, I read 63 books, and I thought at the end of 2020, yeah, 80 sounds realistic because I read 63 and it's just 17 books more. I can do it. I can totally do it. And then I reached the 80 and then the 100 and then the 148, and this was fucking insane. So what I need to say about this number is that I read to escape my reality, and reading was the goal for that. So you can think about what you want, maybe what happened in my life or what is currently happening, but a lot of people know it. In my personal life, when you see this, you know it. If you don't, reading should be fun. This is a hobby for everyone. And just because you didn't read that much, it makes you not less worthy than anyone else. And please don't compare yourself to other people who read a much, because you don't know what happened in their life that they want to read this much, or what don't happen and stuff like that. There's always a reason behind it, because some things happen. And what I also realized at the end of the year is, after reading 148 books, I was like, okay, I read much, but I think I didn't really enjoy what I read. And that was sad, because I had a ton of 5 stars. Let's be clear. I think out of my 148, I think 40 are 5 stars. So that's fucking great. But right in the end of the year, I just realized that the books that I read, they were okay, but they were just okay. I didn't enjoy my time with it. I just was more and more disappointed the more I read, and now I'm in a reading slump. But that's okay. That's totally okay. So let's look at the stats, because that's funny. Let's see if I have an average rating for so my average rating for 2020 was with 63 books that I read, but 5 stars. This was my average rating. And I want to say it because in 2021 it was disappointing. So I read in total 148 books. I read 62,000 pages and 62,000 pages, 325. I saw this wrong, but it's okay. And yeah, I don't think this is really accurate. You will see this in a second what I mean with it. Just for the fact that a few books that I read didn't have a page number, like books. You'll see in a second which book I mean. This didn't have a page number, and I always look for the right book that I read with the right edition, so the number's accurate, but this not always happens. So I don't know how accurate this is, and yeah. So now let's get to the shortest book. The shortest book was 1 chapter out of the Magnus Bane Chronicles. I bought the whole book series of the Magnus Bane Chronicles, and I didn't realize that I could actually bought this also as a book and not only as a chapter. So this is why my shortest book is 34 pages, because this is chapter long. And this is the chapter we're talking about the chapter, the 8th one, what to buy the shadow hunter who has everything and who you're not officially dating. Anyway, this is fucking long. But I gave this 5 stars. So this was one of my 5 stars. And I thought this was cute. It was about Magnus, but we don't care here. This is not our best books. And then the longest book that I read was Brandon Sanderson's The Way of King. That has 1,258 pages. And this is actually not the edition that I read, but I listened to the audiobook and I stayed with The Way of Kings just for, because I listen, I just also read the pages. I just hear them. But I spent my time with it 60 hours. So I will count all the pages because the audiobook is long, like the book. So yeah, this is why this is the edition. So my average book length in 2021 were 421 pages. I thought this would be more. I thought I read a lot of chunky books, but then I remembered that I read The Iceberg Barbarian, so yeah. My most popular book that was shelved is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This has over 5 millions, I think almost 6 millions people shelved this. And my least popular was the feminist book that I read in December. This one doesn't have a page number, so I don't know how accurate this is. And also 2 people shelved this. Both of them are 4 stars. I thought this was funny that both books that I listed had the same rating. So now we get to my average rating. It was 3.7, and I thought this was sad. So if you know me, or you know me from Discord or stuff like that, I always rant about my books, but I always end up giving them 3 stars. So I just have 3 1 stars this year. Last year, 2021 was last year, so I have 3 1 stars. So I would say just because I rant about this book doesn't mean that I didn't like it. And 3 stars is still great, but I just hope for better ones. So yeah. My highest rated book was Heartstopper Volume 4. This has an average rating from 4.69. And I'm glad that it's like this because the Heartstopper Volume 4 is my favorite volume of all of them. I cried so much while reading this book. And I love it. I love it, everyone loves it. And 5 stars for me and for a lot of people. So my first review of the year was The Duke and I by Bridgerton. And this is one of my 3 1 stars. And this is sad, but I will talk about this in my worst books wrap-up, why I ended up giving this book a 1 star. So yeah, this was audiobooks. So let's go to Storygraph because I think this is more funny to look at, but I don't know how accurate this is because you will see in a second. I started Storygraph I think at the mid of last year. I'm not a big fan of it. I need to say, I'm not a big fan of it. I think I like that, the most thing I like on Storygraph is that when I'm listening to an audiobook, that it counts the hours that I listen to it. And this is great because on Goodreads, they just say, you listen to a 60 long hour book. This is average, this is the same like 2 pages. Like, okay, are you fucking kidding me? But okay, so I don't know what happened, but in Storygraph I read 147 books, and I think this is the problem because my feminist book is not shelved. So this is not accurate, and you see I'm almost 4,000 pages difference, and I don't know what happened because this feminist book don't have 4,000 pages difference. It's just 440. So then the moods, I'm honest, I don't know what the moods are. I never listed anything, or sometimes I list something for the emotions, but every time I finish a book, I look at the moods and I'm like, I don't know. This book was, sometimes the book was challenging for me just for the fact that I needed to finish this or wanted to finish this because this book was not good. This was the challenge for me. So I read the most adventurous, and I think this is just something the community picked, or different one, because I'm 400% sure that I not clicked on Barbarian Lover for adventurous, because this is an alien erotica book. So then the XX, I don't think the XX is adventurous, but okay. So yeah, this was something the people choose, and now this counts like that. I have 79 books at adventurous and 61 emotional. Emotional is something that I actually clicked when I feel emotional in a book, but the fact, I don't fill this out. The pace, fast, slow, medium. I need to say this is also something that I didn't choose. Sometimes I click on fast, medium, or slow paced, but I don't know how to choose something that is maybe slow, fast, and medium pace, because I finished last week a book that was 800 pages long, and it was, for my reading experience, it was fast paced, but on the other side, how fast paced can a long book be? So I put on medium, but the most of the time I read medium paced books, and I like medium paced books, to be honest. I don't like fast paced because I always feel like this is too rushed. It's matter what what I read. So if I read a romance book, I just want to have this fast paced or medium paced. So I don't get distracted. But yeah, I don't like a slow paced. This is why it only have 18%. Page number. Yeah, also here, the most of the time I read books between 300 and 499 pages. Like Goodreads also said that this is my average page number. The most of the time I read fiction, and 3% is non-fiction. Yeah, this is correct. I think non-fiction has such a big span what you can read in it, and I don't think that I am the girl for non-fiction. I just read sometimes a book, but I like fiction more. So then genres. This is the most shocking thing for me, because a romance is on the same level of fantasy, but also here this also counts in books that are not really a romance book, like Lady Midnight, for example. This is fantasy, but it has romance in it, and that's why it's so high. So I didn't read 79 books with romance. I just read books that where romance was included, and I like it. This is the kind of romance that I like. But I don't want to lie, I just discovered from the last months of 2021, I discovered romance that I like, and this is so fun to see, because I don't know. I think I just read the wrong romance books, to be honest, but I enjoyed it. So then we have fantasy, of course. I love fantasy. Then young adult. I hope this year, there will be less young adult. Contemporary, historical. I love historical sometimes. LGBTQIA+. This is also a number that can be bigger. And yeah, so this is this. Format, print, digital, audio, I love it. But sometimes it lists an audiobook that in a month that I didn't read an audiobook. I don't know, I just look this every time up which book is it. And even the audiobook that is listed, the audiobook is the edition that I clicked on is the print version. I don't know why this counts in as audiobook, but okay. My most read author is Cassandra Clare, and I can definitely see that because I binged the whole Shadowhunter series in 2021. I started with, I think, City of Bones, or did I read this? I think City of Bones I read in 2020, and then I read everything that was published, almost. I did not read everything. I think I have still read Scroll Papers, the story about Simon left, stuff like that. But the main story I completed. I mean, she needs to publish Chain of Thorns, but this is not in my hands to read. And then after that, Ruby Dixon with my Iceberg and Barbarians, and yeah, that's average rating also here is 3.7. 142 good reviews. I accidentally missed 5, but it's okay. So this was all my reading stats. We love that. So now let's talk about the year 2022, what I want to read in there, what is my plans. And I did a brain dump to see what I have for plans. So my plans for 2021 was to first of all read 80 books, which I managed to finish. Then I wanted to try out thrillers. Also did that. Thrillerton was fucking amazing. And more standalones. I want to read more standalones. This is something I think I didn't manage to reach, and this is okay because I think I started a few series, but I also finished them last year. This is great. Actually transferred my old series to series that I need to finish in my new book journal, and I discovered that there's a few books series less, and this is amazing. So, but what I experienced while reading have the mark at 80 books, I felt pressure to reach it, and so I decided first to set my reading goal to 70 books this year. And this was in the beginning, but now today is the 13th of January, and I already changed my mind. So I set my goal down to 52 books because I just felt so much pressure to write in the beginning of the year. And I think to look at the number like 1 book per week is more great. And you think, sorry, you read so much. How you can feel pressured by the number 70 is that I am reading my books that I'm currently reading for, I think, this whole month. The only 3 books that I finished were books that I transferred from December to January, where I had only, I think, 100 pages left. And yeah, not so great start in this year, but also it's okay. I read a lot and I just needed a break, to be honest. So what is my reading plans for this year? So like I said, 52 books for this year. I'm happy with this number. Then I want to finish my series that I started that I can finish. Like I said with Chain of Thorns, this is something I don't have in my hands to finish because the book is not even out yet, published yet. Also, Kathy, can you please write it? Thank you. But I have my list and I want to read all of them. Maybe. There are a few book series on it that I think I can't finish this year, like the Outlander series. I'm currently on book 5. I want to finish it, but this is a slow burn book, and this is a slow paced book, and it took me a very long time to actually finish the 4th book. So I will see how it comes. There's still more books out. I don't think that I can finish this year. I also want to read all my books for my TBR. This is something I think manageable because I am currently on a book buying ban. So far I set this to my birthday, but my birthday is in June, in the end of June. I turn this year 23 years old. I don't know how this happened, but here we are. Disclaimer, I don't feel bad about it that I turn older. but I just I'm sad that I missed my early 20s because of the pandemic. But this is something different. And yeah, so I'm going on a book buying ban till the 29th of June. And except, I know. I did some pre-orders from last year that I didn't cancel just because of the book buying ban. So I will buy the House of Sky and Black by Sarah J. Maas. I also buy the War of Two Queens, because this is something I will definitely read. And I also already pre-ordered it, and I don't want to cancel it just to stick with my book buying ban. The book buying ban is more for the situations when I feel sad and then buy books that I don't do it. And so far I'm 13 days into it. And when you think now how sad you can be in the last 30 days that you won't buy books. I was sad. But I didn't buy anything, so I'm really happy about myself. And I also maybe do an exception for the book clubs that I'm in, because the most important thing about the book buying bin is that I want to be on it, so I don't add something to my TBR that's just laying there. When there's a book that I'm interested in, that I definitely will read this one because this is in fact for a book club, then that's okay for me. You know what I mean? It's just more the spontaneous intense but need to buy something to feel happy that I want to avoid. So yeah, then I want to try to read more from authors that I already read something before, like Alice Oseman, then Emily Henry and stuff like that. But I think this is something that needs to happen in the next part of the year because of the book buying ban. And we will see how this turns out. And yeah, this was it. Then of course I have my 22 books that I want to read this year for 2022. We will see how this all turned out. And then this was it. Yeah. So for this channel, my channel turned 1 this year. In March, I think. It's just a random Monday. But I am so excited to see how I am on this day in March. I just forget, to be honest, the date of it. But I'm so excited for this date. I think I will do a giveaway on this week. And I can't believe that I stick to a hobby for 1 year. If you know me in personal life, you know that I start everything and didn't continue with something. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy for all the people that watched this video and will follow me, because this is nothing, I don't know how to say it. Thank you for the past year. And I stop here now because I think I will start to cry. You don't know how this means to me, how important this hobby is for me, and I love you all. And I hope you had an amazing start in 2022, and you have an amazing week, amazing month, amazing year for you. And let's hope, fingers crossed, that this year will be great. And then this was the end of the video. And if you like my reading plans, you can like this video and follow me to stick with that. And you can follow me on my social media if you want. It's all linked in the description down below. And then write down in the comments down below what your reading plans are for this year. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye.